Hey parents, it's Britt. I want to chat with you just for a second. We got a lot of feedback on the announcements and the video and how we do it, and it was positive. It was really good. We did get a couple suggestions. One of those suggestions was to include the dates and the prices and kind of all of the details into a written format so you could reference it without having to watch the video. And so we're going to do like a hybrid. We're going to do a little bit of a video, and then right below the video you should, in the description, be able to find all the details that you would be looking for according to trips and times and what to bring and that kind of thing. But we'll also do the video because it's a little more personal and we get into a little greater detail. So if you just want the facts, you just want just the nitty gritty, go to the description. You don't need to watch the video. Also, we're going to cover dates and stuff like that up front in the video. And if you don't want to hear me talk to you for another 5 or 10 minutes, you can just stop the video and do your thing. So real quickly, just some dates for you, some things that are coming up. Let me tell you what's going on. For our junior high, we have something exciting called 12 a.m. Mayhem. And we love lockouts here at the church, but our volunteers have a hard time staying up for 12 to 14 hours, and coming from a day of work, it ends up usually being 24 to 30 hours. And so we want to try to capture that same environment and that same feel for the students, but maybe not kill us leaders and the volunteers as bad. And so we're going to do something called 12 a.m. Mayhem, and on October 20th, for you taking notes there, October 20th at 6 p.m. we're going to load up at the church and we're going to go crazy for 6 hours until 12 a.m. And so from 6 to 12 we're going to go bowling, we're going to go ice skating, we're going to go putt-putting, and we're going to just pack it all into one night. We're just going to go from location to location. We're also going to stop for pizza along the way. And we've been kind of telling your students about it, so you may have heard about this, but the cost for that is only $39. And so we would love for you, student, to come and to be there. That's October 20th. Cost is $39. They can even bring a friend. We're expecting that to be a big night, an awesome night for the middle school students. And then also for dates and stuff like that, we're going to, over the new year, for our high school students, we're doing something called Encounter. Encounter is our leadership retreat. It's a retreat where we do lots of fun things throughout the day, but we also kind of get in just intense, and we go through books and we go through studies that really concentrates on leadership and developing your leadership qualities. And so we want to invite all high school students to come, but we want to make sure that up front you know what you're getting yourself into. And if you're like a new believer, or your student's a new believer, or they're fresh to this, you don't need to be afraid, but I will say that it is a little more intense. And so like during the day we're going to go snow tubing, and we're going to go zip lining, we're going to do all those fun things. But in the mornings and in the evenings we get together and we kind of have some really serious talks about what it means to be a leader and ultimately a follower of Jesus. And those can get a little intense. Last year we took, I believe, 12 students, and every one of the students, I believe, is coming back this year. So that gives you an idea of how great the trip is, and we're excited about that. We stay in cabins in Gatlinburg, and it's really cool. Last year we got to experience snow. Kind of praying for that this year. The kids loved that. The cost of the trip is $300 before November 15th. After November 15th, the cost jumps to $325, and then the December 15th, we shut down registration because there's a lot of planning that is involved with the trip, so we have to shut down registration at December 15th. And so just be planning on that. The dates are December 28th through January 4th. December 28th through January 4th, and it's over the new year. A lot of people are going on vacation, but if your kid's able to go at all, this has been monumental in the lives of all the students who were able to attend last year. Just would really love for your student to be involved. So if you just wanted the dates and you just wanted the numbers, you can go ahead and shut the video off now. But I'm going to go into just some detail and kind of report to you what's been going on in the ministry and kind of what we're going ahead to. I want to just thank everyone really quickly who took part in the pancake breakfast. It was a major success. Lucinda and the youth committee and all the parents and the kids. I just want to thank you guys. We do those 3 or 4 times a year, and you guys all just step up, and it just makes easy work of it all. And I don't know if you get a chance to go out and just see the faces, but the interaction that takes place between the generations, the younger kids and the older folks, it's just a beautiful thing, and we kind of help facilitate that. And I just want to thank you for your time and your efforts with that. Crew, our middle school environment is really exploding right now. God's just doing really awesome things, and things are going really well. And so you may be aware. Let me let you know if you're not aware, is that we're in the middle of a transition right now where our part-time middle school assistant is transitioning out, and so it's kind of crazy to see that like this big transition is going on. This guy that we all love and we know well is kind of moving on, but yet God is still like just blessing our ministry and things are exploding. And so I believe this past Wednesday night we had over 65 students there. It's the most that we've had since I've been there, and so my job ultimately is to make sure that those kids know Jesus and they're getting discipled. And so, man, we could have 400 there. I'm not too concerned with that number as much as I am with the number of students that we're discipling. And so, my goal right now is to get as many of those 65 as we can just plugged in and engaged and involved. And that's been what's going on at Crew. We've been talking about how to share your faith at school, and it's been awesome to see the response of kids praying and just coming in, almost the burden that they feel for some of their friends. I just think, I told them last night, that's God inside you. And so I'm really proud of our students. Going forward, I'm excited because we're going to actually go line by line through the Psalm 23, and so you may know that psalm, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. We're going to go line by line and just talk about what that means. And so I don't know what your idea of Crew is, or what you may just drop your kid off and then go home. But we have a blast. Can I just tell you that on Wednesday nights, we have an absolute blast. And if your student isn't coming, they really are missing out. But not just having a blast, your kids are getting deep, sound, rich, biblical teaching. They just are. I don't know too many other youth groups who are going to go line by line through a text like that. And team, we're also in the middle of a transition. We have changed completely the way that we do things. Team now meets in a home, and I just want to quickly just tell publicly, Sarah Davis, thank you. She has opened her house this past month, and it's just worked out great. It's the first home that we've gone into, and so there was a lot of variables and questions, but it's just gone really well. She's been an awesome host, and I want to thank her. If you happen to see her, you're the parent of a high school student, make sure to thank her for opening up her house for us. The kids have absolutely loved it, and so team has been going really well. Something that we started in there is a study of apologetics and just kind of how to defend your faith intelligently. And that's been going extremely well. I've got a lot of great questions, a lot of great dialogue about what that means. And so that's been good. One of the things that we value at the high school level is small groups. And so we've been doing small groups, and it's been a great time for the kids just to share and just to kind of talk about what's going on at life. You may get some of that at home, but to get away from kind of mom and dad and get away from people that they're just used to day in and day out, and kind of be able to come into a safe environment and share is really, really crucial for a high school student. And that stuff's happening, and it's been really good. It's been really good. And so I just want you to know that right now, my heart is extremely grateful to God for what He is doing in the high school and middle school ministries at First Pres. I could not be more excited. And it's not just, hey, we got a lot of kids coming, man. We've got kids with just deep, rich testimonies, man. They're sharing their faith. They're talking about God, and I could just see the growth. Being a pastor for a while now, it's difficult to be able to see growth sometimes. It usually takes years. But just in the last 6 months, I've seen students just grow up overnight, and that's just encouragement to my souls. And to my soul, it should be encouraging to you as well. And I hope it is. I hope it is. One of the big emphasis that we're putting right now in our youth groups is serving. And so one of the things that I think that if we're not careful, we can fall trapped to is celebrating too early. And so what I mean by that is this: I really believe that there's 6 steps in the life of any believer. You, if you're a believer, or me, or even if you're not a believer, there's still these 6 steps. And I made these up, so you may think of a step that I missed, and that's fine. But the first step is this: is you're lost. At some point in your life, you were lost. I'm lost. Your student was lost, and there's lost people everywhere. And so the first step is lost. Second step is you're looking. I know a lot of lost people who aren't looking for anything. They're just completely content being lost. But I also know a lot of lost people who are looking for something. And so I think that's an important step to recognize that you might be lost, not looking, or you might be lost and looking. And that's kind of step 2. Step 3 is God saves you. You're converted. You have a new way of thinking. God gives you a new life. He gives you a new heart. Things just aren't the same. Your desires are different. And so we believe that's step 3. And normally what happens in any church setting is that's where we stop, and we kind of we celebrate, and it is a thing to celebrate. It is like scoring a touchdown. It is something to celebrate. But like scoring a touchdown, that you then have to go back and play defense, and the game's not over until the 4th quarter. And so just like this kind of game of life that we're in right here, we believe that being converted and being saved is a massive deal to be massively celebrated. but it's not the end of the game. And we want to make sure that we don't celebrate too early with students, because we really want to push them to go beyond where they are right now. And so there's 3 more steps after being converted, and we want to make sure that we are, as a team, fulfilling those steps. And step 4 is being discipled. We want to teach kids how to pray. We want to teach them how to read the scriptures. We want to teach them how to teach others the scriptures. And so all of these things with just learning what it's like to be a believer. A lot of Paul's letters in the New Testament were, this is how you used to act, and this is how believers act. Get with the program kind of thing. And so we don't take that attitude as much. It's a little more gracious and gentle, but we're just saying, it's like, this is how you pray. This is how the scripture teaches us how to pray. This is how you share your faith. And that's really discipling. But even then, it doesn't stop there. It goes beyond that. It really gets beyond that. It gets to equipping. We then want to equip students with skills that allow them to serve. We want to equip them, whether that's with leadership, whether that's with communication skills, whether that's with learning how to play an instrument and leading people in worship. We want to just equip people with those skills. That's a part of what we do. We don't want to just stop with converting and discipling. We want to equip them. And last but not least, we want the student to serve. We believe the game is over and the game has been won when your student is actively serving. And maybe you're listening to this right now and you're like, you're not at step 6. I don't want you to be discouraged, but I do want you to know that maybe you need to consider just finishing the race. Maybe you need to consider finding someone to equip you, or maybe equipping yourself is an opportunity, a possibility there. But I really want to encourage you, and mainly my responsibility as students, I really want to encourage our students to serve. And so one of the big pushes that you're going to hear in the next 6 to 12 months probably is just really actively pushing our kids to serve, and it's already happening. We have our middle school environment on Wednesday nights. High schoolers are invited to that, but primarily the high school students that are attending right now are functioning in some sort of leadership capacity. They're serving. They're serving food. They're running graphics. They are picking up trash. They're helping run games. They're praying with students. They're leading small groups. I mean, there is a multitude of things that can be done in a service level. And so it's already happening. And we don't necessarily believe that the service has to happen here within Crew and Team. I mean, it can happen absolutely outside at school or in the home or on some nonprofit organization or some gathering that you do. That's totally fine. But we just really want to push our kids to get beyond themselves and to really serve outside of themselves, and that's our goal. And so you're going to be hearing a lot about that, and that's our focus right now. Step 3, being saved. We're going to stop and praise and thank, and we'll sing a song. Maybe we'll party, we'll go to dinner, but we don't want to stop there. We really want to finish the game, get to step 6. And so if you guys could help me in that, encourage your kids in that, like if your kid's just showing up on Wednesday nights or Sunday nights and they're not serving and they're not doing anything, why don't you just ask them, like, hey, think there's any way you can get involved or anything you can do to serve? And I would love to just see every one of our students actively involved in serving God's church. Ephesians says that while you have the opportunity to do good, do it to those who are in need, especially of those who are in the household of faith. And that's kind of our cry. Like, serving is an opportunity, Paul says. It's an opportunity to do good. And that's how we view it. It's something that's good for our soul. When we serve, it feels good, and God designed it that way. So we want to push our kids so they can serve and they can kind of feel and sense the way that God designed it to be. Just so you know, I am passionate about your students, and we are doing everything that we know to do to draw them as close to God as we can. And we've been getting some really great feedback. So if you have any feedback or you have questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to call us. We want to know what you're thinking, what's going on. And so yeah, we are just absolutely compassionate about your students. So I think that's all. I think that's all I have for you. I think that's all the notes I have for you. It's a 16-minute video. I've never talked to a camera this long before. But I hope to see you guys around. Everything is the schedule's normal. Every Wednesday and Sunday right now is happening. Real quick, I was just thinking of something. On Sunday night, this coming Sunday is our last Sunday that we're meeting at Sarah Davis's house. In the description, we'll put the address of the next house, and that's the house we'll meet at for the month of October. That's the plan for Team. So hope you're well. I'll see you around the church. Talk to you soon. Bye.